The Japanese army officer fired his gun into the air. The man immediately started running with the Japanese soldiers, but due to the long-term oppression and hunger, Lewis fell to the ground. He lost the race to the Japanese. The officer angrily beat him up. In the morning, the officer rushed into the dormitory and started brutally beating up one of his cellmates. Lewis wanted to kill him, but his comrade told him, "If you kill him, you'll die too. Only by staying alive can you defeat them." At night, the officer grabbed Lewis by the hair and threw him to the side. He whipped him continuously to vent his anger. When the Japanese high command learned that Lewis had been an Olympic athlete, they treated him to good food and drink. The aim was to use his public identity and make him read this article on the radio to create public opinion and put pressure on the US military. If Lewis agreed, he could enjoy the same treatment as them.
They live here.
But Lewis refused. Because it was treason, he'd rather go back and suffer the abuse of the officer. Back in the prisoner of war camp, the officer didn't beat him. Instead, he had his men tie Lewis's hands and ordered all the prisoners of war to line up. Each person was to punch him once. He wanted to break Lewis's will, but no one made a move. The officer grabbed a wounded man. As long as someone was unwilling, he would beat the wounded man. After a few blows, the wounded man was already lying on the ground. Lewis couldn't stand it anymore, so they could only punch Lewis in the face. One punch after another. Even when he lost consciousness, he was held up, and they continued to hit him. They didn't finish until the sun set. On this day, the officer told Lewis that he had been promoted and would be transferred away from there the next day. Before leaving, he planned to say goodbye to his old acquaintance. Watching the officer leave, the prisoners of war all heaved a sigh of relief. This devil who had tortured them was finally gone. But as the war continued to progress, the US military carried out an air raid here, just when the cellmates thought they would be rescued. A comrade told them, if the US military won, the Japanese army would order the killing of everyone here. He had overheard this from the conversation between two guards. The next day, the Japanese army was forced to transfer these prisoners of war. They came to a new prisoner of war camp. It was a world of ice and snow here, and Lewis's legs went weak with fear because he saw Watanabe again, this devil who had tortured him for a long time.